Guys, CNN is facing an internal crisis right now. Their CEO slash president, Jeff Zucker, is rumored that he wants out. He doesn't want to be there anymore, and for good reason. I mean, basically, it's a terrible network at this point. And there's always rumors that the parent company, AT&T, is going to sell CNN. So things are going downhill for CNN, despite some temporary boost in viewers after the election. But overall, CNN knows that because they believe that Biden is going to take office, that their glory days of being relevant at all is over. They understand that they need Trump more than anybody, which blows my mind for why they were so anti-Trump and why they conspired to ignore stories that could have helped Trump with this election. It really blows my mind. That's your money train right there. All the incentives should be for you to get behind President Trump. But instead, the media is establishment first. And this establishment media arm has stooped so low to the level of two grown men on a network gossiping and complaining about White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. And it's really pathetic and embarrassing to see this type of gossiping on air. I mean, it's really sad. I mean, this vent session is the definition of Cuck News Network. But before we get in that, my name is Greg Foreman and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share A Black Conservative Perspective, aka a leftist worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at GForemanBCP. Let's get it. All right, guys. So take a listen. I know it's painful. But take a look at Brian Stelter and Jake Tapper just have this cringe gossiping vent session about Kayleigh McEnany live on air.
I noticed that about Trump aides on CNN. I mean, there were times in 2017 when Kellyanne Conway was on this network all the time. I remember interviewing her a few times and feeling like each time it was less valuable. Like I was getting less of value and substance each time. Did you have similar experiences? And you were doing it almost every week. And of course, except for the weeks the White House wouldn't provide any White House Trump administration guests. Did you feel like there were diminishing returns because you weren't getting the truth?
Well, there are some people that are such, they're just so mendacious, I just wouldn't put them on air. Kayleigh McEnany, I never booked her. Jason Miller from the Trump campaign, I would never book him. I mean, these are just people who they just tell lies the way that, most people breathe. And there was no value in that. I don't view Kellyanne Conway the same way. She was a senior advisor to the president. She was more of a filibusterer and a subject changer, I thought.
Yeah, subject changer. That's right. That's what she would do. Yeah.
Than a liar. And I think it's different. I really do. And there is a risk in just like lumping everybody together. There's a big difference between somebody like Kayleigh McEnany who just like, this is what she does. She tells lies all the time. She can't acknowledge reality. So I'm just not going to put somebody like that on air.
Guys, tell me that doesn't sound like two high school girls gossiping in the lunchroom or something like that, right? Like, oh my God, I would never have Kayleigh McEnany on my show. I would never put her on air. I would never put him on air. But Kellyanne Conway, yeah, she can come up here. I didn't get that impression from her that, she was as bad as Kayleigh McEnany, but I just can't deal with her. I just can't. I'm telling you, Brian, I can't. This is what it sounds like to me. There was definitely a lot more estrogen than testosterone coming from this conversation. I mean, I don't know, man. Maybe they need to, go see a doctor, get some testosterone replacement therapy, like something here, because I cannot believe that. Actually, I can't believe that CNN has stooped this low to just casually gossiping about Kayleigh McEnany live on air. Like, this is not news. And not only is it not news, they're just not being honest. Now, Kayleigh McEnany had responded to Jake Tapper's little therapy session, and she says, this is a therapy session for a broken network, and Jake Tapper is lazy enough to participate by lobbying baseless personal attacks with zero evidence. I'm right there with you, Kayleigh. CNN loves lobbying baseless attacks without evidence. That's the same thing they did when they called the Hunter Biden story Russian disinformation, when they pimped the Russian collusion story that Trump was getting golden showers with Russian prostitutes and, he's a Manchurian candidate. They pimped all that without any evidence. That's what they do. And because they feel like they are authoritative media, they feel like that whatever they say is fact and what everybody else says is not. Right? And they don't need evidence to back up any of their claims because they're an authoritative source, according to them. Jake's real problem: I do not leak, I do not lie, but I do call out the lies of the media, CNN, Russian collusion hoax. Kayleigh McEnany, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you on that. Now, Jenna Ellis also responded and said, they're nothing more than two pathetic figures trying to convince themselves they're relevant. Ding, 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 ding. And that is the root of all of this. Jake Tapper and Brian Stelter just want to maintain relevancy. And because they believe that Biden is going to be in office, at least that's what they believe, they know that their glory days are very, very limited. They don't have Orange Man Bad to sit around and talk junk about all day. So now they have to stoop to talking about the press secretary and trying to smear every single last one of Trump's aides and allies because they believe that he's not going to be in office. And this is what's happening right now. And they know that if Biden takes office, that they're done. They're done. They ain't going to have nothing to talk about. Biden's boring. He ain't going to be making no headlines. And that they're going to be so irrelevant. So while they still have the chance, they have to stoop to the level of trying to attack Miss Kayleigh McEnany. And it's just pathetic, man. It's really just pathetic. It's this type of gossiping is just, it's an all-time low for CNN, but nobody should be surprised at this point. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.